Oh, I'm sorry, my several month-long hibernation period after the crushing shame of forgetting to upload my albums list from last year was abruptly ended by the loud thump of a new Fiona Apple album dropping out of the blue, reminding me that I have other things to do instead of watch A24 films in bed with no clothes on. Speaking of comebacks that took unnecessarily long to arrive and are led by a tired, once charismatic boy finding a fresh new cynicism in the midst of an increasingly painful, futile and lonely world, The Strokes have a new album out. Maybe it boils down to the memories, but the old tunes of those American indie rock heartthrobs still make a grin crack across my face like an unzipped fly. Their songs are repetitive, simple, homogeneous, and plain crackers, but they also sound like the summer, and they also have a raw scuzz to their audio quality that feels good to listen to as Julian Casablancas croons through what sounds like a Wendy's drive-thru speaker. To me, there are only two kinds of music that make you want to rebelliously skateboard through a shopping mall, and this sure as hell is not ska. There are many things I'd rather do instead of explain the general decline of audience interest in the Strokes over time, especially considering that I've always been a bit more sympathetic to their shifting interests towards synthesizers and new wave inspired pop, even if it seems to smother and suffocate that edge that was originally in their music while doing so. I gotta admit bro, I like Angles, and Comedown Machine still has a song or two that I like, but what's a band if they're on autopilot? What the Strokes eventually became is a band with a formula, melodies and chord patterns so predictable it puts the Mayan calendar out of business, the magic of the Strokes regretfully wearing out like a hand job that's starting to hurt. I still love Julian Scratchy Blanket's falsetto, and on the final track he captures some real angsty, emotional edge that I've been fiending for, as we hear him on the chorus growling hard enough to give Joe Exotic an erection. The Strokes, even in their late years, have been able to capture that eerie modern feeling of everything changing for the worse, while there's nothing that you can do about it. See the title track to Comedown Machine. And so the new Abnormal is an entire album suited for the times. It sounds and reads like a resigning, defeated and fearfully uncertain statement from a band that used to be bold and inspiringly confident, a weird contrast to the youth culture that they crested in. This whole character development is reminiscent of the young folk who partied and squawked their way through the 2000s, dancing to LCD sound system, and are now in the 2020s, admitting themselves tired and slumped in their chair, posture fucked, again, like LCD sound system. Doesn't matter how much the opening synth line of At the Door sounds like a particular chart-topping Usher song. The new Abnormal is not a party, it's the drooling hangover the morning after. It sounds sad and helpless and like a machine that's lost its juice. Songs that seem creepily familiar, like Shao Ice generations of what a Strokes song should sound like, based on their last album and EP, and some of the boring bits at the bottom of the bag that First Impressions of Earth came in. The result of a band with a big enough legacy to celebrate, but feels too numb to even bring themselves to do that. What an artistic statement. This could have been something real special if it even had the prideful ambition to shoot beyond the scope that they've sadly limited themselves to. The wildest decision that this album ends up making is bringing in a ballad with club synths and Christmas bells. This album is completely unremarkable. Call me impatient, but for its dullness, it's also bafflingly slow, operating at the pace of every customer service line queue right now. The most honest fun that I do have with it is being able to sing the hook of Mika's Relax Take It Easy over Brooklyn Bridge to chorus. I mean, come on, give it a go. Relax, take it easy, for there is nothing that we can do.